Okay, so today we are diving deep into Tesla. And you know what's interesting about this one is it's like they're synonymous with electric cars,
Yeah.
but they're hitting all these roadblocks in the very market they helped create.
Yeah, it's really interesting how the EV market is evolving so fast. It's like a double-edged sword.
Totally. And their Q3 2024 results are the perfect example on paper, like great, tons of cars delivered.
Yeah.
But when you actually look, it's a bit more complicated than that.
Exactly. Growth isn't enough for Tesla anymore.
Yeah.
They have to like exceed these huge expectations.
Which they helped create.
Yeah, exactly.
And sometimes those details can make a 5% stock drop.
Yeah. And for any other company, that growth would be incredible. I mean, 6.4% year over year.
That's amazing.
Over 462,000 cars delivered.
Right.
But for Tesla, it's like, oh, they missed.
Not the victory lap they were hoping for.
Yeah.
And the thing is, they're not alone in the electric fast lane, are they?
No, not at all. It is getting crowded out there. And I don't just mean like Ford and GM.
Right.
I mean, we're talking about Chinese manufacturers like BYD, XPeng Li Auto.
Yeah, I saw that BYD actually outsold Tesla in China last quarter. What's going on there?
Well, they're not just cheaper alternatives.
Right.
They've got government backing really efficient supply chains, and they understand the Chinese car buyer.
So they came correct.
Yeah. Like their Han sedan, it goes head to head with the Model 3, but it has all these features that Chinese consumers want that maybe Tesla hasn't quite figured out yet.
So they knew what to bring to the party.
Yeah.
And this brings us to, I guess, the electric elephant in the room, price wars.
Yeah. How do you stay competitive but also maintain those profit margins?
Right? Is that even possible?
Yeah.
It's like you don't want to price yourself out. But then again, those profit margins tell you a lot about how healthy the company is.
Exactly. And Tesla's profit margin, well, it's not looking great.
Really? How bad is it?
So their Q3 profit margins were the lowest they've been in 5 years.
Oh,
Which for any company is not a good sign.
No.
But for Tesla, it's especially significant.
Okay, I get it's not good. But like, explain it to me. Like, I'm not a stockbroker. Why is that such a big deal for them?
Okay, so think of profit margin as like the amount of money Tesla keeps from each car they sell after paying for everything.
Okay.
So a shrinking margin means they're making less profit on each car, even if they sell more cars overall.
So it's like they're working harder, but not really getting ahead.
Exactly. It's like trying to fill up a bathtub, but your bar of soap keeps getting smaller.
Okay, that's a good analogy. I like that.
Yeah.
So why does this matter so much for Tesla, though?
Because those profits pay for all the cool stuff they do, like research and development.
Yeah.
You know, making new EVs, new technologies.
Right.
Less profit means less money to invest in the future, and that could really hurt them down the line.
So they're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, it's this constant tension between, like, short-term gains and playing the long game.
Right. I mean, how long can they keep that up?
That's the million-dollar question, and it has everyone wondering, especially with all of Elon Musk's, ambitious plans.
You mean like the whole robo-taxi thing?
Exactly. He's really betting big on self-driving Teslas becoming like the next big thing in transportation.
Yeah, which honestly sometimes feels a little Black Mirror to me, but go on.
The potential's there, right? Imagine electric autonomous taxis everywhere. Sure.
But there are some serious hurdles. First off, the whole thing is a regulatory nightmare.
Yeah, governments don't exactly move at the speed of Tesla.
Exactly. And then there's the competition. Tesla's not the only one building self-driving cars.
Right. You've got Waymo, Cruise, all those guys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And let's not forget the technology itself still needs work.
Yeah, all those self-driving videos you see online come with like a million disclaimers for a reason.
Exactly. And yet every time Elon Musk even mentions robo-taxis, the stock price goes up.
It's like they're valuing the dream more than the reality at this point.
Maybe. But speaking of cool futuristic vehicles, can we talk about the Cybertruck for a second?
Oh yeah, the thing looks like it came straight out of a video game. It's wild, and I heard it's selling like crazy.
It is, despite the unique design and the price tag, which is actually becoming a bit of a problem for Tesla. Wait, success is a problem. How does that work?
Well, they have like 2 million pre-orders for the Cybertruck.
2 million.
Yeah, but building all those trucks and getting them to customers, that's a whole other challenge.
I bet, especially since they got rid of that $60,000 base model, right?
Exactly. I mean, $60,000 was the starting point.
Wild. So the Cybertruck is both a huge win and a potential logistical disaster for them.
Pretty much sums it up.
So basically, Tesla's dealing with a ton of competition, those price pressures.
Yeah.
And then there's Elon Musk with his grand vision for the future. It's a lot.
Yeah, and we have to remember this isn't just some Silicon Valley show. This is important for the whole EV market.
Definitely. I mean, this impacts how quickly we can even switch to more sustainable transportation, right? What do you think about that?
Well, I think Tesla deserves credit for making electric cars cool.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They challenged the idea that electric cars were just like slow and boring.
Totally. But it feels like things are different now. So how can they deal with all this competition and still be innovative?
That's the big question. Can they make enough Cybertrucks without running into problems? Can they actually make robotaxis happen while dealing with all the regulations and safety stuff? There are a lot of ifs.
And it goes back to that balancing act we talked about.
Exactly. Short-term gains versus long-term vision.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure.
If Tesla fails, it could hurt the whole EV market.
Wow.
But if they succeed, it could change everything, not just for them, but for sustainable transportation in general.
It's like they're holding the future of the whole industry.
In a way, they are. What happens next is anyone's guess.
Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive. Tesla went from shaking things up to having to reinvent the game they created.
It just shows that you have to constantly adapt and reinvent to stay ahead.
Absolutely. A huge thank you to you for sharing your insights and to everyone listening. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Tesla. See you next time.